What's good? It's Fevir. So being a bit of an MMO hopper, I try to keep up with what's what, and even though I'm a bit disappointed with the MMO genre currently, there are some titles I'm looking out for in 2015 and I want to share them with you and give you a reason to actually care about them. This list, it's not meant to be ranked, I'm just highlighting games that are worth following or trying out if you haven't yet. Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward. Really not much to say here. Final Fantasy XIV is the proof that a game that is well supported and well developed for doesn't need to reinvent the wheel to be successful. It's on the list because the first expansion is a very definitive moment for an MMO, especially for an expansion giving so much. A new race, new jobs and classes, airships, flying mounts, and most importantly, raising the level cap, as this gives players a chance to re-enter the game without feeling too far behind. This is a standard theme park MMO through and through, but done at such a high level of quality that it's worth your time if you're into that kind of thing. It isn't my thing anymore, but I can respect the title and its success, and if you've waited for the perfect time to rejoin, it's now. Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited. While not quite an expansion, Tamriel Unlimited is as close to a relaunch as you can get, with the change in the business model to a buy-to-play format and a console release putting the first Elder Scrolls title on both the PS4 and Xbox One. It couldn't be more exciting currently for ESO. I feel like I was in the minority at release who gave it a positive review, but having kept tabs on the game has only improved, and the vision moving forward for the game seems to really iron out the idea of a role-playing game played online. This is personally the MMO that I have the most fun with right now, and while it isn't quite an Oblivion or a Skyrim, it does scratch that Elder Scrolls itch, and if you haven't played it since beta or right from release, you owe it to yourself to give it another shot because so much has improved, especially if you had already bought it since you have nothing to lose anymore. Albion Online. This might come as a surprise because it is a small title, but the most impressive thing about Albion is that they know and are designing the game for that niche audience, trying to appropriate what makes complete sandbox games like Eve and Darkfall tick, but in its own way. Albion has charm and it does have something special. As I said in my impressions video of the game, something about the game grabs you and makes you care about that, and it's evident in finding propaganda posters that are being made, which are routinely found in successful sandbox titles like Eve, and this was all in its early alpha and beta stages. It's clear that people care about the game, and with the design forcing players to rely on their guilds instead of balancing around solo players, this game will give a much more social experience than we're used to in MMOs. The changes and features are coming quick in every single build, but I'm most impressed with the cross-platform functionality, which means I can play on my PC, and then if I only have access to my tablet, say on a commute or on the can, I can load up my character in the same world and maybe get some mining done. This is a title for true sandbox MMO fans, and I see great experiences for a small community ahead of it. Dungeon Fighter Online. I really don't get this game's hype, but with the game being more profitable than World of Warcraft and approaching the League of Legends status last year, there is obviously hype and popularity surrounding this game. Incredible to think about because it's only really in Asia currently. With the re-release coming to North America, this action MMORPG that looks like a side-scrolling fighter, like an old-school Double Dragon, is sure to have some people hyped up about it being available here again. And apparently this is a big deal, and if it has even just a fraction of the success that it had in Asia here, we're probably looking at quite a hit. Now I don't quite get it looking at it, it looks really old and dated, but I did play Elsword and that was fun as shit, so I guess a lot of things will apply. Black Desert. Whether you had a bad experience in ArcAge or not, ArcAge had something special to it, and many of the players, myself included, were turned off not by the game itself, but because of company and business practices. Black Desert is almost the graphical and gameplay successor to ArcAge, giving you one of the most beautiful MMOs with a theme park sandbox hybrid design, which allows you to get lost messing with things like horse breeding instead of grinding mobs, and it gives you a real play the game your way and at your own pace that I really dug in ArcAge. And one of the most promising things is I've talked to people who are in those foreign betas, and they come back and they tell it is a good game. It lives up to the hype, which is always a good thing to hear. The Division. Arguably the game I'm most excited for currently and the most speculative on this list. This game has the potential to bridge a gap between MMO and shooter in a way Firefall only dreamed of and Destiny helped build on the console. But this game will be available on the only platform that matters, the PC. Taking place in a post-pandemic New York City and with Ubisoft's budget and the Tom Clancy name, I'm really hoping for big things. Most reporting websites have given it nothing but high praise, and the UI is a work of art. It is sexy as fuck. But especially after playing Secret World, which you should if you haven't already, there is just something surreal about playing these MMOs in these modern time settings. And while I'm excited for the game, it could always just end up being another Watchdog fiasco. Overall, it looks like a slow year in 2015 with re-releases and expansions being some of the most exciting stuff. I had some high hopes for the Repopulation, but it just lacks so much polish currently, and we have some things in the horizon. We have Camelot Unchained in 2016, there's some really exciting crowd-funded projects, but as always, we'll just need to stay patient. Until next time, this is Fevir. Peace.